Okay, I'm when?
Cool.
I'm live.
I'm starting now.
Awesome. This is so exciting. We're doing Instagram. Hi. I know, I haven't been live for a couple days on Instagram, so I'm super excited to be here. I'm Mel Robbins. As you're jumping onto Instagram, tell me in the comments where you are watching from. And we will wait for our friends from Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube and Facebook to join us. I have not been streaming live on Instagram because we've been bringing on a lot of guests live, and Instagram is so choked with live streams right now. Everybody and their mother seems to be going live at the same time, that it can be really challenging to make the connection work. And so for the sake of not having you constantly tuning in and not being able to see what I'm doing, we have saved you the headache. But today we are going to be taking a question, but it's on video. So now that we are up on all platforms, let me get started. It is Friday, April 10th. I'm Mel Robbins. I am the best-selling author of The 5-Second Rule. I'm a daytime syndicated talk show host. And this is a little live stream that I do every weekday at noon Eastern Standard Time. So I want to say good morning to everybody on the West Coast. I hope you're joining me for lunch on the East Coast. To our friends overseas in Europe, it's late afternoon. To our friends in India, it's 9:30 at night. And for those of you who can't sleep in Australia, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. So I really hope you're not watching. This is a chance for us to connect, to stay connected, and for me to help you with whatever issue it is that you're facing right now. I am completing week 4 of quarantine with my family outside of Boston, Massachusetts. It has now become the new normal. We have settled into the routine. Our emotions are up and down. Before I go to Nevada, where I have a question from Diane, I want to tell you that if you would like to join me on video and get advice and ask a question, I would love for you to do that. Let me tell you how you can do that. Just send an email to my team. You're going to send the email to askmel@melrobbins.com. So askmel@melrobbins.com. Tell us what the issue is. If you've got the ability to make a short video, a minute or less, describing what's going on, even better. And make sure you give us your contact information, because we are going to, starting next week, we're going to be doing a bunch of Zoom coaching and videotaping them. And it's a chance for you to schedule time to talk to me and get the support, the encouragement, and the research back advice that you need to make the small changes to take control of your day and take control of your mood. And what I want to ask you right now is 0 to 10, how are you? 0 to 10, how you doing today? One technique that I think is really important as you meet this moment, because you didn't choose to be in this situation, but you can choose how you show up. You can choose to use the time to have a season of growth instead of a season of stress. You can choose to use this to become more resilient, and having the self-awareness to really be clued into how you're feeling is where self-awareness begins. So I want to just call out and welcome people in from Colombia, from British Columbia, from Dubai, from Florida, from Texas, from Dover, Mass. I love it. That's right next door. Brazil, from Washington State, from the West Coast. I see all from Yemen, from Croatia, London, Toronto, India, Wisconsin. We are truly all Sydney, Australia. I am so sorry you're awake. Hopefully you're just getting off a shift and about to go home and go to sleep. But I want to know how you're doing, everybody. Okay. Butterfly Princess is about a 7. Welcome in from Thailand, Latvia, Southern California. Fantastic. Albania. Absolutely love seeing a global audience. Sweden. Fantastic. So today I'm honestly a 9. And one of the reasons why I think I might be a 9 today is because, I have had a week where I was pretty low. And last night at dinner, we were having dinner. I am married and my husband and I have 3 kids. They're 21, 19, and 15. And we do the 0 to 10 game every day at dinner. It's a way to check in with your family without having it be a cheesy conversation. 0 to 10, how you doing today? And one of the things that was interesting is my kids, I said I was an 8 and they're like, finally, oh my God, you've been so low. It's been horrible. And I'm like, what? Really? And so having that feedback from my family, I have been more intentional about working on my mood. And one of the things that I have noticed is that it is very easy to focus on what's wrong, guys. Very easy. And we remember the things that are going wrong because when you feel something negative, it literally imprints in your body. It's an emotional type of feeling and memory. And you tend to hold on to the things that are negative longer. If you think back to your life and you start thinking about some of the biggest things you remember, it's probably a lot of the negative stuff. It's probably a lot of the struggles. It's probably, you have a memory of life being hard or you beating yourself up. And the reason why is the positive stuff, for whatever reason, we're not really good at celebrating that. We're really good at struggling, but we're not really good at celebrating the positive stuff. And in getting the feedback from my own family that my own ranking has been kind of low the last couple days, it's made me realize that every day I have really high moments. And at the end of the day, I'm choosing to say, meh. And so today I want you to take that tool 0 to 10, and I want you to use it tonight at dinner. And I want you to be very mindful about the moments today that are positive. I want you to be mindful about the silver linings that you see. I want you to be mindful about the decisions that you're making and whether or not the decisions are intentional and conscious, and that you're choosing and deciding to spend your time in a way, in small ways that will make you feel better and feel more positive. Because all the simple decisions that you make all day long, they're going to either add up to a 9 or a 10, or they're going to subtract to a 3. Because you decided not to exercise. You decided not to eat something healthy. You decided not to have a bunch of water to drink. You decided to watch TikTok for 3 hours instead of working on a project right now. And so I only say that because we're going to be talking about the constant barrage of information about COVID-19. Are you exhausted by the fact that you can't escape the thoughts and the conversations around coronavirus, quarantining, the virus, contagious, isolation, that it's like a barrage? If you feel that way and you wish that you could just turn it off, you wish you could turn it off in your own mind, you wish people would talk about other things, you wish if you go on social media, you don't see this constantly, you wish it wasn't what was on the news, that you wish there was something other than this because you can't escape it, I want you to know that you're not alone. And in today's question, which comes from Diane in Nevada, I am going to address this. And so we're going to bring on Diane's question right now. I'm going to turn my phone around and I'm going to turn on the volume on my computer so that I can see the question. There's my broadcast. All right, Mandy, I'm going to shut up so you can bring the video on so everyone can hear it. Mandy, I'm going to shut up so you can bring the video on so everyone can hear it.
Hi, Mel. My name is Diane and I'm in Henderson, Nevada. First off, thank you. What steps I've been able to take with your guidance have been huge, but I'm now facing a hurdle that no matter where I go, no matter what I do, no matter any time of the day, I don't even have to have the TV on. COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. It's something that crosses your mind. Like, the whole reason I'm staying in is because of COVID-19. It's just, it doesn't stop, and I need a moment for it to stop. How do we make it stop just for a moment? I know it's not going to make the problem go away, but I just need a break from it.
You know what really strikes me about her question is, did you hear the emotion in her voice? Did you hear that? That it was just unmistakable. No matter where I go, any time of the day, it doesn't stop. I need a moment. And she even said, I know that having a moment isn't going to make the problem go away. But what you can hear in Diane's question is that one of the big problems that we're all facing right now is the inescapable nature of this situation. The inescapable nature of the fact that you're isolating because of this virus. The news is covering it 24/7. Everybody's talking about it because this is something we've never experienced in our lifetimes. And so your life has been fundamentally turned upside down because of it. And so I have two really important strategies that you can use if, like Diane, you just need a moment. Like Diane, you wish you could somehow escape it. And the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to take out a blank piece of paper, okay? I love note cards, so you're going to take out a blank piece of paper and you're going to draw, I love Sharpies, a line down the center. And on one side, this is like a cooking show. See, it's already done. On one side, you're going to write, for those of you that are on Instagram, I apologize, but you're going to write Internal Barrage. And on the other side, you're going to write External Barrage. Because there are two different types of barrages, if that's even the right way to say it, that you're experiencing. You're experiencing a barrage from the outside world, and that is coming from the news. It's coming from conversations. It's coming from the change in your life right now. It's coming from what's on social media. It's all around you. And so when it comes to making it stop from an external barrage standpoint, that comes down to things that you can control. So you shouldn't have the news on in your house at this point. There's no reason to. First of all, the news hasn't changed at all. The news consists of the virus is contagious and it's still infecting people. It's very serious for some people. Hospitals are overrun. Please don't go out, and please wash your hands, and for the time being, stay inside. That's it. And nothing's going to change about that. And trust me, you don't need to have the news on, because all you need to know is when the quarantine's over, right? Until the quarantine's over, it's status quo, everybody. And I am sure one of your loved ones who is under the external barrage of negative news, they will text you the second the order has been lifted, okay? So you're going to find out. You're not going to have yourself be stuck in a house for a month while everyone else goes back to normal life. That's not going to happen. You don't need to watch the news. So you can handle the external barrage by turning off the news and by setting boundaries. What are the boundaries you want to set? The boundaries you want to set are with yourself. Number one, go through your social media feeds. Anything that is triggering you to feel like you're under a barrage, mute it or stop following it. If your uncle has suddenly turned into a coronavirus expert, mute him on Facebook. You don't need that barrage right now. And you can also set boundaries with your family. I don't want to talk about it. It's making me sad. It's making me depressed. It's making me feel trapped. I am requesting that nobody mention coronavirus, that we not talk about this, okay? Because I can't handle it right now. That's how you deal with an external barrage. You draw boundaries and you turn things off. How do you deal with what I think is the bigger issue when it comes to it doesn't stop, I need a moment? That's the internal barrage that you're facing. That's what's going on up here. That's how often your own thoughts are drifting to how long is this going to go on? Geez, Louise, now I have to wear a mask? Oh my gosh, what if about Aunt Sally and she gets like I wish I could go outside. I wish I could do this. I wish I could do that. If your own thoughts about being trapped inside or about how long this is going to go on or about fears about whether or not you're going to get sick or concerns about how the government is handling this or concerns about tests or concerns about vaccines or concerns about mutation, that's all the internal stuff. And you have control over that. So what can you do? You've got to do a mindset reset. Now, mindset reset is a term that I use for reprogramming your mind. And you're very lucky because I happen to be an expert at this. And I have taught a free course. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm going to give you a gift. Go to melrobbins.com/mindset reset. There are 30 days of videos that you can take for free to learn how to program your own mind. And you can go through Mindset Reset right now simply for the purpose of training your own mind not to default to thoughts about the coronavirus, okay? That's number one, Mindset Reset. Second thing that Diane, I want you to do, and you watching this right now, I want you to do too. If you feel like you can't escape it, it doesn't stop, you just need a moment. What you need to start doing is meditating. Don't roll your eyes at me. Download the Calm app, download Headspace, and every day you need to meditate for 5 to 10 minutes. What does that mean? It means when you meditate that you simply sit still and you breathe in and out. And you can listen to somebody else talking while you do it. You can listen to nothing. You can listen to a guided meditation, or you can just set a timer on your phone where you close your eyes, you take a deep breath, and for 5 minutes, you just observe wherever your mind goes. And what you're doing when you meditate is you are training your own mind to stop. Because the only place where you will be able to take a moment is inside your own head right now. And that means you've got to train your own mind how to center back into this present moment. Because any thought about the coronavirus is likely something about what's coming or how long this is going to last or how bad things are. If you can center yourself into this present moment and remind yourself that right now you're safe, right now you're okay, right now you're just sitting here watching a video with Mel Robbins holding up an index card, right now you are okay. That is what it means to take a moment. And when you start to train yourself to take a moment, you can, when you get good at it in taking a moment, you can start to expand the moments to last a little longer and expand them even more and expand them even more. And when you learn that your mind is spinning and you need a moment, you can, anywhere you are, at the kitchen sink, standing in your yard, sitting in your living room on the couch, you can just take a deep breath and go right back to a moment of meditation and make it stop. And so I want you to do that, Diane. I want you to do that too, because it is critical for the internal barrage. Another trick that you can use, this has helped me a lot, is I play music throughout the day. I've made all these playlists on Spotify of all the songs that I love, and I keep music on because music, based on research, has been proven to be a mood booster. And I find that when there's music playing in our house, the house feels full, it feels vibrant, it feels alive, and my mind doesn't drift as often because I have been really thinking about the music and not really letting my thoughts drift. Another strategy that you can use is you can journal all your thoughts down in the morning as a way to get the barrage of negativity out of your head and on a piece of paper. Okay? So again, you're going to manage the external and the internal barrage. One other thing, Diane, is that I don't know if you've thought about this, but there was something about your video and the emotion of how you asked the question that it reminded me of grief. It reminded me of the despair that somebody feels when they lose somebody that they love. And how one of the stages of the grieving process is denial and anger and sadness. Or I just named 3 of them, but denial came up for me with you. No matter where I go, any time of the day, this new reality is in your face. And you don't want this new reality. You don't like this new reality. I don't either. And I don't want it either. But when you stay in a stage of denial, and I think that's also what you're struggling with, Diane, is you keep all that agitation at the surface. And so just like the process, and it's a process of grieving, you got to start to try to move towards acceptance, that this is the new normal, that until further notice, we aren't going back to big parties and concerts outside, and people are going to be talking about this for a while. And so one of the things that I want you to do, and you watching, I want you to do this too. Let's play a little game. I want you to pick a date when you think we're going to go, I don't even want to say back to normal. I want you to pick a date when you think you're going to be able to come out of isolation and go back to work or go back to school or be able to go back to some of the things that you used to be able to do in groups. I want you to start writing the date in the comments. And if you say, I don't know, that's one of the reasons why you're in denial. That's one of the reasons why you have this barrage, because you are facing uncertainty. And so I'm going to start reading some of the dates that people have. And this date's personal for you. It's based on what you believe. This isn't the truth. This is what you believe. I see a lot of June 1. I see a lot of June 1 out here. June 1, I think, is a good bet, personally, depending upon where you live in the country. Boy, June 15th, November 15th, August 15th, June, August for New Mexico, June, July 4th, August. And I'm talking about what is the date in your mind when you think that you could kind of go back to some of the things you used to do. You could go somewhere. You could go to a hotel. You could go out to a restaurant, maybe go back to school, go back to the office. I see a lot of June 1. I see a lot of August. I see a lot of July, September. And here's why I'm saying it's important to pick a date. When you pick a date, it doesn't matter if that's what the date is. What matters is you're planting a milestone, a goalpost, a beacon, a flag. You're planting something in the future for yourself. And that is going to give you a little bit of acceptance. It's going to give you a small amount of control. And it's going to help you manage the feelings of fear, frustration, sadness, and resistance, and denial, and anger that keep coming up every time you hear conflicting information from the news about how long this is going to last. You need to pick a date that you're going to anchor down on, because it's going to help you with acceptance. The date that I've picked, September 1. That's just what I'm doing. Do I think that I'll be able to do small things between now and then? Absolutely. But in terms of going back to an office, going back to school, being able to go out to restaurants, being able to gather in small ways, that to me is the date that I feel really confident about. Now, if it comes earlier, fantastic. I would love to be wrong about this. If it starts to feel like it's going to be longer, I can move the flag post. But for now, that's what I'm planning for, because that, based on what I see, is what I think is likely. And picking a date like that moves you out of denial. It moves you out of the mode of resisting this situation and into the mode of being proactive about how you're going to use the time. And this goes back to the thing that I said at the very beginning. We didn't choose to be in this situation. No sense in bitching about it. But we can choose how we show up. And so if I know that I've got several months where my schedule is slowed down a lot, where I'm not traveling like I normally do, I have found a lot of time that I normally don't have on my hands. And I am starting to take on projects that are giving me a sense of purpose. And on yesterday's live stream, I talked a lot about passion and purpose. And you can find that live stream on YouTube, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Twitter. And it's giving me something to look forward to every day, something to work on, and a sense of passion and purpose for this temporary moment of time. I hope that helps, Diane. It makes my heart heavy to see you so sad and so stuck. But I'm hoping that when you make your little list of, oops, that's the wrong thing. Did I already throw out my prop? Only Mel Robbins could lose the prop that I just held up in front of you while sitting still at my desk. Hello, ADD. You just make your little list, internal versus external barrage. Where's it coming from? And then slowly work to take control of turning that barrage off. And as I mentioned before, you can go to melrobbins.com/mindset reset in order to take the free program that'll teach you how to reprogram your own mind. And if you're wondering, how the hell do I get a video to Mel? How do I get on a live stream with her? I want to join her on the live stream. The way that we're doing it right now, send an email to my team, askmel@melrobbins.com. Askmel@melrobbins.com. Put your question in the email. If you can shoot a quick video, a minute or under, terrific. And please give us your contact information so a person from my team can reach out, and we will schedule a time to get on the phone with you, on a video chat with you, depending upon the question, and I'll be able to hang out on Zoom, and I will answer your question. And by the way, when you reach out, you help a lot of other people, because so many of us are feeling the exact same thing because we're going through the exact same situation together. Well, in case nobody else tells you, let me tell you before the weekend starts that I love you and I believe in you, and I'm here for you. So you let me know what you need and how I can support you, and we are going to do the best that we can to make sure you get the support you need. All right. I'll see you on Monday.